Hello? All right, all right, all right. Y'all trying to grouch or no? Who's in the dome on this beautiful Sunday evening? We got SP, we got Muni, Money. We got Money GTE. We got Renzo, Demonic, Shar Daddy. Oh, what up, Shar Dad? Happy Father's Day, baby. What's up, F? F's in chat. What up, guys? Yo, happy Father's Day to everyone out there, man. Hope you guys all had a great day and a great weekend. What's up, Xander? Yes, I actually have seen Wacky's video on the blue chip detector, and I actually thought it'd be fun to watch that video together and talk about it. So we're gonna do just that on today's stream. You got the husky skin. What's the husky skin, Renzo? Which one is that? Yo, hell yeah! Thanks, Demonic. Today was a great day, man. Great Father's Day for me. Our day was great, dude. The wife cooked some homemade pancakes and bacon and eggs for breakfast. So I got to have that breakfast with the wife and the daughter, and then we hung out for a little bit. Then went to Outback Steakhouse for a little lunch with her parents. Then we came back home and just hung out for a bit, talking about preparing for our vacation next week. We're going to Tennessee. And then once her parents left, and it was just us three at the house chilling, man, just hanging out, enjoying some family time. Good day, man. And yesterday, Saturday, we were out at the my brother's house. This big little blow up pool slide thing. We had all the kids over there messing around. It was a good weekend, man. How about you? Demonic, this week, buddy. It's on the patch notes. It's on the patch notes and on the video that I made covering the patch notes. So it's like this Wednesday, I think, for console. I'm new to PUBG. It's a dog, a furry skin. Oh, okay. Well, GG. Hope you like the skin, man. Chat, y'all saw the news about your boy XQC signing a apparently, I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but $100 million kick deal. Pretty nuts, huh? Pretty nuts, huh? What's up, Jinx? You owe me a Coke. What are the new skins that are coming to the item shop? The Your Shop isn't updated yet, so we don't know what new items are coming to that. Sharda, how long have you been on this restriction? I'm glad to hear you didn't have to cook today. It's a day for the boys, man. Have someone else do the cooking. Hell yeah. I had some leftovers for dinner tonight. We just ate I did some grilled chicken thighs, beans, mac and cheese for Stella and Ashley. I had some of that, and then some leftover steak, little steak tips, rice, beans, corn, jalapenos, lettuce, cheese, a little rice bowl. What's up, Rafiq? $72 hours of no. Wait, what did you go into the knife for? I don't remember hearing about that. Or if you said it, I must have honestly completely missed it. What would you go in under for? What was the deal? Oh, it's a Monster energy drink in here, but it's in my Top Dad cup. Like Top Gun, but Top Dad. Hee. Twizzlers. Oh, dude, Twizzlers fucked me up, man. Twizzlers fucked me up. They're such a great snack, and they're a really good stream snack. Because I can literally eat them while I'm streaming and not have, like, you know, messed up fingers and messy fingers and stuff. What's up, Money? What up, Big Money? Nice to meet you too, buddy. Welcome to the stream. Snip, snip. Oh, snip, snip. Already? Damn. Shardad. Hey. My boy said, that's it. I'm out. Wrap it up, Chief. Wrap it up. And due respect. How was it, man? Was the outpatient okay? You won't believe this, but I'm eating Twizzler. Picture in the Discord or bullshit, bro. Yo, what's up, Ryan? What's up, Records? Grandpa Sedum coming soon. Fuck, better not, dude. My daughter's 1. Fuck, I hope I got at least, shit, what, 24 years? Give me like 24 years. I'll be ready to be a granddad. Yo, thanks, man. My wife got this for me on last Father's Day. Like last year, you know, Stella was born, but she's only a month old. This is like my first Father's Day with like a mobile child. She's awesome, man. What's up, Shashungama? Shashuma, your name reminds me of Mortal Kombat. Shang Tsung. You know there's a new Mortal Kombat coming out soon? It's gonna be pretty lit. All right, let's pull up Wacky Jackie's video. So what we're gonna do is we'll pull up YouTube and watch Wacky Jackie's latest video that he made, kind of calling out the blue chip detector for being too OP. And as you're probably familiar with, if you're ever in this channel at all, you know that I'm not necessarily against that opinion. I do think the blue chip detector has the best opportunity to shake up the gameplay, the meta, how you play PUBG out of all the tactical gear. But I do think the blue chip detector is pretty balanced. Could it use 1 or 2 small minor tweaks? I think so. But let's watch Wacky's video. We'll point out some of the highlights and key points that he makes, and then I want to offer some just counter opinions, if you will, just to kind of play devil's advocate. So just to make it clear, I do think the blue chip detector is probably, if there had to be one item that wasn't in the game, it would be this item. But even though it's in there, I think it is very situational, and in some cases is actually going to act as a crutch for a lot of the players. So let's take a look. All right, so this is again Wacky Jackie's brand new video titled "The Blue Chip Detector Used by a Solo Specialist. If this stays, PUBG is forever changed." So a couple of just quick keynotes. He's playing solo, which is a big determining factor into which gear you choose. Okay, because if you play solo, duo, squads, the gear you choose can have big ramifications on your gameplay and how your team succeeds or not. So he's doing solo, he's doing blue chip detector, and he's on Miramar. The map that you play has a lot to do with what item you choose as well. And then also keep in mind, it's Wacky Jackie. He's a really, really good high level player. And so sometimes when we see some of the best players using any item, they can make it look OP. You know, if you watch Tiggleton enough, you can watch him use a certain pistol or a gun that you would think is otherwise not that good, and he would make it look OP. So just kind of keep that in mind as food for thought as you're watching the video. But let's take a look. Make sure I'm on the max quality. He has it uploaded in 1440p, so we'll go ahead and enable that. Let's take a look.
Why is this a controversial patch? That's being asked a lot. Uh-oh, don't hit this. I'm going to see if I can show you. Oh, no, there's also a guy here. I'm going to see if I can show you real quick. I feel like this might not be the timing to do this, but
this is ballsy.
Okay, this is why. Hot drop, I can see where he is. Blue chip detector.
All right, so just real quick, first kill right off the bat. The hot drop is where you're going to see the biggest benefit of the blue chip detector for sure. But also, as long as you're semi paying attention when you land on your hot drop, you're going to have a really good idea of where the people are anyway and where you need to rotate to or kind of play more cautiously when you're around those areas. So just wanted to point that out. Yeah, he got a quick kill right there, but let's be honest, Wacky probably would have even saw that person to begin with if he didn't have the blue chip detector, and probably could have seen that guy and got him anyway, right?
Hot drop, you're just gonna have people with radar. Also,
that guy who he killed should have known Wacky was here if he was paying attention, because I mean, he literally ran out in the open, you know, just right here, left to right.
I can see where he is.
And if that guy was paying any attention, he had a gun. You know, he could have already been looking over here for Wacky. So,
blue chip detector.
Again, you're talking about a very high skill tiered player here.
You're just gonna have people with radar.
What's up, Maxie?
I can still see.
But motorbike Mike.
Blue chip is in his death box.
What's up, Tungsten? Yo, thank you, homie. Have a great day yourself, man. Thank you for the love.
Gotta know where this guy is. Gonna find out.
All right, now this one's interesting. Watch this.
You can see the person is above me.
Watch this.
So he's not on the ground floor.
I see in the blue chip how it has this little up arrow. That means if the arrow's above the dot, the blue chip, the person you're tagging, is a level above you. You don't know how high above you. It could be on the second floor, third floor, fourth floor. It doesn't matter. As long as they're above your elevation, it'll say the up arrow. If it's a down arrow, that means they're below you. Okay, so just critical need to know information there.
Right here above me, that means he could be either on the roof, which I don't think, so he might be right in there.
All right, now keep this in mind. Even though this is very strong,
see again.
Even though this is very strong, he can pull up the detector and literally see, like, okay, this guy is not only in this building, he's also in this part of the building, like in this room. And if you can visualize the layout of the building you're about to push, you'll have a really good idea of which room they're in that building and how you can proactively push the player in there. Now, keep this in mind. PUBG tweeted out, I think 2 days ago, every other day they've been tweeting out like a little update about each gear. And when they tweeted out the gear for the blue chip detector, they literally targeted the blue chip detector as an anti-campers device. So the way Wacky is using it right here in this scenario, this is how PUBG intended for it to be used, to find the campers who were just sitting in a building or whatever. Now, a couple keynotes there. Look how close the guy is, all right? So this thing only detects 50 meters away. That means 50 meters, this guy can and should be able to hear Wacky this entire time as he's running around the building. So yes, Wacky now knows that this guy is here and also has a really good idea of where he was at least 8 seconds ago, because that's how long the refresh takes on the scanner. But that guy also is going to be able to know where Wacky is. And if he's paying attention to his audio, he knows where Wacky's moving. He knows if he's on dirt, if he's on, you know, metal or concrete, etc. So I'm just trying to point out that it's not like it's incredibly one-sided. It is an advantage, but I think a lot of people kind of overreacted initially to it, and that's why I wanted to point that out.
Hey, he's right there. So now I'm in a hot drop. There's no one here on this floor. I can just see that on the radar. That's controversial.
Or they could have a jammer backpack, right? If they have a jammer backpack, they don't show up on the blue chip detector. Now, granted, for hot drops, many people won't have that because you got to just get lucky and find one on the hot drop, you know. So most people will show up on this ping. But again, something to note.
For a game, PUBG, which is the most, in my opinion, far most intense, scary, if you will, horror-like battle royale out there.
So now he knows exactly up there.
In the back room up here.
And Wacky's making a great point.
So he shouldn't actually be here right now.
This does really change.
It's legit just right here.
The feel of the game, for sure.
He's right there.
Now look at this. Okay.
If you don't think that is a bad thing and that's controversial, I think we just see the game very differently.
Now, I do see Wacky's point, and I agree 100% that having that ability to see that little blinking dot every 8 seconds, as long as a person doesn't have a jammer backpack, is very, very strong and does shape up the meta of PUBG quite a bit, at least on these starter hot drops where people don't have the blue chip jammer backpack rather. However, look at how this situation actually happened, okay? And again, this is scenario by scenario. You can point out 100 different scenarios where it could go a different way, but watch this.
He's right there.
This guy is already, you see him holding his angle? He is already pre-aiming this angle of the doorway because he heard Wacky come up the staircase. So if this guy he was fighting against had a helmet or was a better player or a number of different scenarios, that guy kills Wacky even though Wacky knew he was here the whole time. So again, I'm just going back to, this is a very specific scenario we're seeing. This is Wacky Jackie we're talking about. He's a great freaking player, and he's obviously going up against a mediocre player who didn't even have a helmet for whatever reason. He didn't want to loot or is scared to loot, or, you know, whatever the reasons were. Like, look, I mean, you can see the situation there. If you were a different kind of player,
that is a bad thing, and
you could have won that trade.
I think we just see the game very differently.
And also keep in mind that player literally sat still in that corner the entire time. If that guy was moving around in that building, that makes the blue chip detector much less useful, because Wacky was able to basically do everything he wanted to do this entire time. He was taking his time, pulled out his scanner. Oh, I see him pinged literally in the same position, holding this angle the entire time. If this guy was moving around, peeking windows and bouncing around, Wacky wouldn't have had the opportunity to pull out the blue chip detector. He would have had to rely on just his game talent and his game instincts of listening for the player, pre-firing the window where he thought the player might peek, those sorts of things. It's the things that you would do every time you played PUBG, no matter what. Having the initial blue chip ping, from 50 meters away, that is the key thing. Like, oh, there's a player for sure in this building. let me play more cautiously since that person's camping. But once you're in the building, again, that scenario can change a lot.
He's right there.
Yo, what's up, Eddie? Thanks, baby.
That's a bad thing, and that's controversial. I think we just see the game very differently. Do I play rank ever? No. Let's just hope this guy misses until I get to cover.
Obviously, that
had his chance.
Thank you. That had nothing to do with blue chip. That other guy literally missed 100% of his shots. So you just let Wacky get out, take his time, and kill him. So that obviously had nothing to do with the blue chip.
What?
Now, boom. You see that? See what Wacky just did there is he pinged 2 markers. He pinged this new marker and the dead guy behind him. So on maps that have revive in it, so it's Miramar, Destin, and Erangel for the time being, on those maps, a dead player will still ping and show up on the blue chip detector because their death crate still has a blue chip in it. Now, Wacky could pick up that blue chip out of the dead player's crate and it would no longer ping. But as long as that chip is either on the ground or in that person's death crate, it'll still ping. So that's a nerf to the blue chip detector, because if you're not paying close attention, or if there's a lot of dead bodies around you in a hot drop, for instance, that could be very hard to figure out who's the actual alive enemies and who are the dead people just pinging the chips. So we're just waiting for it to ping again. There you go.
Same spot, probably dead.
And so he's putting, 2 and 2 together. He just killed a person up here. It's probably a dead box, and sure is. Dead box. Boom. Also, to note, Wacky Jackie is using the blue chip, right? Yo, what's up, Stan? Happy Father's Day, baby. Wacky Jackie's using the blue chip, which means he's not using any of the other gear. Now, look, did you see what just happened there? This is another prime example of a great player using an item and making it look a little stronger than it should.
Completely didn't need to use it there.
So Wacky's just showed, if you back up just a little bit here, watch this. You see how he turns and looks immediately over here? He heard this player before he ever even pulled out and pinged on the blue chip. And that's because the blue chip only works 50 meters now. So unless that person is literally creepy crawling or camping in a corner, you're more likely to hear them before you even need to ping them, especially in a wide open scenario like this. And now that he does ping them, he goes, oh, okay. So there is for sure a guy there. Here's the dead player he just killed. And this piece of intel is important. The up arrow. Okay, so there is a player over there and he's at a higher elevation than what I'm at. But again, I'm going to show you right here. If he goes against an actual better player, he dies. Right here is a perfect example. This player also knew Wacky was here. And this player does not have a blue chip detector. And we know, well, we assume that. I shouldn't say we know that. We assume that because Wacky has a jammer backpack on. So this guy would not have been able to detect Wacky Jackie's position because Wacky has the jammer backpack. So this guy also must have heard Wacky. And again, the blue chip detector does nothing for him there. However, right here, Wacky almost dies to using the blue chip. And this brings me to my next point. So right here, Wacky should be dead, right? If you're an actual decent player and you get that half-second drop on your enemy as they have their tactical chip in their hand or they're swapping weapons or whatever, 9 times out of 10, you're winning that trade. But the guy literally doesn't hit one shot and Wacky makes him pay for it being such a great player, boom, double headshot, that guy's dead. He's out of the picture. But again, that's another example of the guy in the building who was camping the corner, who was pre-firing or pre-holding the angle where Wacky pulled up and still lost that fight. Then this guy who has the drop on Wacky as he's swapping from his item and still loses the fight.
Completely didn't need to use it.
And
there.
Wacky even said didn't even need to use it there because obviously he heard him.
Not the last time I did it. I just did it because
he heard him the whole time, but he almost lost the fight because of it. And people are going to lose their fights when they rely on certain tactical gear too heavily. So again, that's another potential nerf of the blue chip detector, is that if you do become too accustomed to using it, you're going to rely on that item and constantly want to pull it out and scan and scan and scan. Whereas if you're just relying on your audio and playing your visual and audio cues, you'd be a bit more snappy and a bit more quickly to react to the situation. Yo, what's up, Clickbait?
Really, another one.
Thanks, buddy.
I can't be bothered with that guy. If the first thing you shoot for is a tire, then you're not interesting to me.
What's up, Brian? Like you said, you're not interesting to me.
The tire because I didn't choose the repair kit. I chose the blue chip detector in the beginning, so you have to choose the repair kit. And even then, then you would have to find a fresh car and remove the tire from that one. And in that situation, you'll just take the car, right? Instead of replacing the tire.
Yeah, well, he's making a great point about the repair kit being essentially pointless for vehicles, but is very strong for his gear. His level 3 vest that he has on, or his level 2 helmet, being able to repair that over and over and keep that same gear, especially during the mid to late game scenarios where your chances to loot become less frequent. Repair kit's very strong.
I prefer solution with the whole tire fixing thing. It would just be to magically repair it out of thin air, to just teleport a fresh new tire onto the car and you're good to go.
Agreed. So what he's saying there is if you have the tire repair kit or it's the all-in-one repair kit, you should be able to walk up to a popped tire and just make one out of thin air and utilize one of your 10 repairs with that kit. That's what you should be able to do.
So, or how healing works, also magic. While at the same time feeling what's it called? What's the word?
All right. Another example. Blue chip detector does nothing for that scenario, right? Just outplays him, outshots. The guy misses all of his shots. Wacky has time to get out of the car, do his wiggle peeks, and just be the better player. So the fact that he has a blue chip detector does him zero good right there. And again, it takes away his opportunity of having other gear in that particular scenario where he maybe wanted to have a different type of weapon available, or I don't know, Panzerfaust or something like that if he had the extra tactical backpack. That's so annoying. That's so annoying when the vehicles get caught like that.
This is horrible to drive in this terrain. It's really, really rough terrain. I'm not sure a car is the right solution for this, but I want to move fast.
Sounds like you might need to change your bearings, Maxi. What's up, Acid? Now this end game is actually going towards a compound. This is where a blue chip detector is going to start to be a bit stronger again. For the early game, very strong. Mid game, not so much. Late game, strong. Also keep in mind, Wacky has the jammer backpack on. So this entire time, nobody is detecting Wacky Jackie's position because he has the jammer backpack. But you almost have to assume that everybody else also has the jammer backpack. See, just like right there, he just did a quick scan didn't see anything, there very well could be someone literally proned up here waiting, listening to you running up to you, and you assume they're not there because they didn't ping on the jammer. That's what I mean when I say the item could become a crutch. See, nothing's pinging, but the guy could be up here with a jammer just sitting still waiting. That could always happen. Boom, now he pings him. But keep in mind, the guy that he pinged, I mean, like literally the same scenario again. We're looking at, obviously, again, Wacky playing the game. He's one of the best players you'll watch, you know, especially streamers. One of the best streamers for sure. Obviously, there's some pro players that are better. But look, this guy is sitting still here. And here's Wacky coming way longer than just right here in this instance. He's already has his gun out. He's aiming where Wacky's coming. He knows he's coming and still loses the trade to Wacky running up to the hill, stopping the run, ADSing, and then taking the fight. Just another example of how, yeah, Wacky knows where he was roughly with the blue chip detector, but that didn't win him that fight. This is Wacky's superior skill winning this fight. Yo, Acid, thanks, buddy. Appreciate you, man.
Kind of a guy on a bicycle coming in here to my right.
Must have heard a bike. Oh. There you go.
Where's the guy on a bicycle?
Great spray at the AK right there, too, huh? That was a long shot. Yo, AT, thanks, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Had a great Father's Day. All right, so this is where it gets interesting. This is where it gets interesting. All right, so Wacky, here's the suppressed AK. So he knows there's a player over here. Let's see how he plays it. Okay, he does a quick scan, doesn't see anything. Keeps on trucking. Sees that guy in there. Oh, good spray. He actually
could have moved into safety.
Yeah, he barely got him up there. I was gonna say the same thing. He barely got that kill. He should not have gotten that kill had the guy just, you know, went whoop right back into cover. But there you go. So he had no idea that guy was there because of the blue chip detector. He just was using his game sense. But you can imagine a scenario where you're glued to your chip and you miss that opportunity because you're just glued to your chip, right? All right, boom.
Here.
Scans it, knows the guy up in that building. Again, that guy also knows Wacky's here. He hears Wacky way before now, but now he for sure knows he's here. And if he's paying attention, he knows he's on metal stairs. He knows he's up here with him.
He's not on the roof.
So Wacky knows that because of the chip, but that guy also knows that because he hears Wacky. So it goes both ways. Now, you take that scenario out of it, right? Now that they both know where each other are, what if the other guy has a tactical backpack and has a shotgun waiting for these close range scenarios? So even though Wacky knows there's a person in there and can safely assume, okay, now I need to play cautiously here, the other person already hears Wacky. They also know Wacky's there, and now they pulled out their shotgun and they're ready to one pump you. And they still have their assault rifle and their AR or their DMR and sniper rifle as, you know, other weapons, or they have a backup Panzerfaust for close range. Who knows? I'm just trying to throw out there some devil advocates of what else could you use instead of the blue chip, and could it be more powerful? Right here, Wacky's using his game sense. He's kind of peeking the windows when he's running by. He's not overly relying on the blue chip detector. Does another scan, confirms the guy's still there. And ironically enough, he's in the same room that the other guy was in, most likely anyway, that he killed in the beginning. Remember the guy on the second floor? He's likely in that same little kind of corridor closet. So Wacky's going to try to bounce his nade in here. This guy in here here's Wacky priming a grenade. These are all audio cues that you hear without having a blue chip or whatever, you know? So that guy should already know all this is coming. Misses the nade.
There's a small chance that that would happen, right?
Now, the blue zone grenade here, this is a smart play. So throws it kind of mid so that it absorbs most of the building. And what Wacky's assuming is that this guy's going to have to exit the building. He hears them, hears thump, 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 thump. He hears the footsteps. But again, the guy in there hears Wacky on the stand as well. You hear ch 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 ch. And look what he does. So he just sat inside the blue zone grenade, ate up the damage, and then just jumps right out. So again, did Wacky get the kill with the blue chip detector? Yes, 100%. Did the blue chip detector actually save him or like earn him that kill? I would argue no. Just his superior gaming sense and skills and the other players' lack thereof did. Okay, so he just pinged the dead body and he pinged someone to his left who he doesn't know if it's a real person or not, like an alive person or not. This guy. So you have to assume this person's alive because, again, it could be a dead player. He has to assume that. But what he's also doing is kind of just meandering around. There could be another player with a jammer backpack sitting like right in a corner and he would have no idea. Okay, now he heard that guy in the sand. See the jammer backpack right there. Also, look what Wacky did here. You see this? He dropped that chip initially. Okay, now he dropped it again. See, the blue chip I dropped is from someone I looted. You cannot drop your own chip. So what he just did is dropped a random chip in a corner of a room so that if someone else has a blue chip detector, they're going to ping that blue chip on their little screen. Now, so will Wacky, but Wacky knows that that one's there because he dropped it there. What's up, Wookie? Yo, thanks, man. Thank you very much. Okay, boom. So he got his drop and then another ping.
That's my blue chip. That's a distraction.
What's up, Colin?
What bad spot I'm in. There's not really a lot of good spots here.
So again, this scanner is not doing Wacky, like it's not really helping him win this fight at all. They both know where each other are and they can hear each other's movements. See, Wacky heard this guy this whole time.
Dude, he really stuck it out there.
And again, another example of a player with inferior skill just getting killed here. Wacky gives this guy a prime opportunity to kill him. Like right here, for example, this is not this guy's fault, but Wacky has the blue chip in his face. If that guy opens that door and is ready to go and is clearing this room, potentially catches Wacky sleeping. And then right here, he wasn't ready. He should have heard Wacky, but I guess he didn't, or whatever he didn't do. Gets the spray, then Wacky disengages, which he did not need to do, and gives this guy an opportunity just to light him up in the back and kill him. Wacky gets caught on the door, and this guy literally hits one shot out of all those shots. Wacky turns and just burns him. This guy's level 3 helmet, level 3 vest should have very well, maybe not won the fight, but had it a lot closer to a potential trade because of Wacky's mistakes moving through that building. Again, just pointing out,
he really
the chip
stuck it out there.
Did not win Wacky the fight. They both already had known about each other a long time before that fight actually started. And Wacky already confirmed this last guy has been pinging there. Again, this could be a fake chip. Wacky doesn't know that. He just has to assume that going into this scenario, that is the real person. He keeps scanning it a couple times. Is the dot moving? Is it not moving? There you go. So Wacky's okay. Boom, he's over there. Oh, now that guy. Okay, now that was unfortunate. I didn't even catch that. That guy got shot in the back by a guy over here. That's unfortunate, man. So Wacky heard this shot. Wacky never pinged this guy. He just heard that shot. So now the blue chip is not useless, the blue chip detector, but it isn't needed. Here, he's relying on game sense. And if you look at the zone, he actually has the worst part of the zone. Because he has to come out of his cover first. Oh, look. Saw the guy right there. So now they both know where each other are.
I'm in a bad spot. I'm going to die here.
Wacky's completely out in the open with zero cover here. And this guy could peek window or side angle or even come down the hill. Like, he has a lot of opportunities. Wacky's really stuck here. Now Wacky's just waiting for the zone.
I mean, I should die here.
Sees the guy in the window, pre-fires the guy, doesn't even shoot.
I guess he didn't expect that.
He didn't.
But yeah, I feel like you can definitely see the issues with the blue chip detector, right? How it takes away so much core tension towards the end game. That's kind of what I'm trying to demonstrate here.
Agreed.
Yeah, I tried to do some tricky stuff while, planting blue chip to, fool the enemy, but
which is a 9,000 IQ level.
It's pretty clear how negative the blue chip detector affects the most intense battle royale out there, PUBG, right?
All right, so just to kind of recap it, I'm not making this this video, this review to be like Wacky's wrong, but I just want to offer some counterpoints to Wacky's video and mainly highlight you're watching one of the best players you can watch use an item. Wacky, this is the same guy that you watch fly around with a glider and a P92 pistol and dominate the lobby, and he makes that look overpowered. But if he actually comes across a decently skilled player, half of this stuff, half of the scenarios that we just watched don't go the way they went, or they're at least a lot closer to kind of, being a flip coin where they could go either way. Maybe you get the trade, the other person gets the trade. There weren't really any kills that Wacky got here that were really from the blue chip detector. It was merely just like a comfort zone, like, oh, now I know for sure a person is in this building, for instance, as opposed to me having to cautiously clear it out. And that's the point that Wacky is making, is that it does take away that sense of urgency and the tension, especially in those like corner clearing areas or in-game scenarios. But again, the devil's advocate point here is you have to assume players are going to start using the jammer backpack more frequently now than ever. Now that they're on more maps, and that players know if they wear a jammer backpack, they do not show up on someone's blue chip detector tablet. That's a big crutch of the blue chip detector. The other thing is that, having to constantly pull out the blue chip detector, especially in close range scenarios, is going to make you a lot more vulnerable if someone is being aggressive to you, because you ping them one time and it's only every 8 seconds. You can move a pretty good distance, close range, in 8 seconds. So that chip isn't really going to do anything for you except for the initial finding out that someone is in a position that they are in. And again, you're 50 meters away from the ping. You're going to hear somebody 50 meters away in PUBG every time, unless that person is camping in a corner and literally not moving. In those scenarios, yes, the blue chip will give you at least the position, the knowing of where that enemy is, but that enemy is going to know where you are. Another point, the drone is actually, in my opinion, a much stronger item for a number of reasons. the drone cannot be negated by a jammer backpack. You can always use a drone to see people. The downside of the drone is that it is pretty obvious that a drone is in the air if anyone's paying attention. So if anyone does look up, they'll see the blinking light and can take a shot at it, but shooting the drone gives away their position too, so they might be a little reluctant to do that. And the drone gives you, huge top-down overview. So if you position your drone strategically, you can see where everybody is 100 or 200 meters away from your position, as opposed to just 50 meters away in a very, very specific use case scenario. Another example I want to offer up is the tactical backpack. The tactical backpack is going to offer you the chance to have 2 additional weapons in your secondary backpack, specifically a shotgun and or a Panzerfaust. A lot of these kills that Wacky Jackie pulled out were very close range kills with the AK. While the AK is a great gun, a shotgun beats the AK almost every time. So if you're a player that is going to camp, let's just say you're a player that likes to sit in a building and you just hold a building down as long as you can. That's fine. Let's say instead of getting the blue chip detector, you just say, I'm going to get the backpack and I'm going to hold a Panzer and a shotgun in here. And when I do hear somebody come close, I'm pulling out the shotgun or I'm pulling out the Panzer. So then you already hear them coming close to you, even though they know where you are because they have the blue chip detector. You're like, I don't care. I hear where you're at and I'm going to one-shot you with a shotgun or with this Panzer. So now who wins the fight? Who has the benefit, the better gear at that point? So I hope that makes sense as just a counter thought point to Wacky's video. Again, this isn't a bash Wacky video, so don't take it as that. I agree with Wacky and a lot of the points that he's making in this video. I just want to offer a alternative thought process to the tactical gear. Is the blue chip the one of the strongest items in the game? Yes. Does it change the way you play PUBG the most out of all the items? Yes. Is it going to ruin PUBG's experience single-handedly? I'm here to say no after my experience with it. And I think you should give it a try. You playing with it, for a little while, and then also giving the other items a try before making that determination for yourself. So that's my opinion. Let me know yours in the comments down below. If you agree, disagree, or if you have other gear that you think is maybe too strong and needs to get nerfed. So if you have the backpack, it's out of the blue zone jammer. Does it still jam detectors? Yes. Yeah, even if the blue zone jammer backpack is depleted, even if it's depleted, it will still jam the blue chip detector. Yes. How long do the blue chips without something alive hang around on the detector? Do they? No, they're there forever. They're there forever. Yeah, that's a great point. You could either, like, if the argument was, let's figure out a way to nerf the blue chip detector, or like if they don't want to take it out the game, which I'd be okay if they honestly took the blue chip detector out of the game. I would be totally okay with that. I don't think that item really belongs in PUBG, but I also don't think it ruins PUBG. Now, if they wanted to nerf it, delaying the initial scan is probably the best way to do that, where you pull it out and you have to wait a second or 2 seconds before it actually scans, as opposed to just immediately pulling it out and it's scanning. That will be a really good nerf to it, in addition to the 8 second delay for the follow-up scan. That's a really good point. Warning enemies that they've been detected is also a good one, but again, I don't think it's necessary, because like the spotter scope, that does warn you when you've been detected, but you can be detected up to 600 meters away. The blue chip detector is 50 meters away. So if you get detected, I guarantee you were already hearing that enemy player that detected you. I promise you're going to hear them. Unless, again, they're sitting perfectly still. Well, in that case, you're not going to hear them, obviously. But If they're running up to your building and they're scanning their thing, you're going to hear them running up to your building, and they'll see you when you get scanned if you don't have a jammer backpack. What's up, Dave? Yeah, he kills him because he is better. And again, that is a very, like, that's just a little one-off video Wacky put out. I'm sure if you use it enough times, you could find some scenarios where the blue chip detector really did save you. But I'm sure you're also going to find a lot of scenarios where it gets you killed, you know? In that scenario, it's Wacky Jackie. So he's going to win 90% of the fights he's playing anyway, you know? You think they'll adjust the time for EMT? You know, I don't know, man. The EMT was stupid strong before, arguably too strong. And now I don't think they nerfed it into the ground, but it's definitely on a more even playing field with the rest of the gear. You have to really want to be the medic of the team to use the EMT now. I think if anything, they should make the EMT still beneficial to the user. And that would probably be the only buff they would have to make it make sense to pick it up. Because as of right now, if you pick up a EMT gear, you literally can't do anything with it to yourself except for like use an energy drink and get like an extra boost percentage, like, which is like negligible. It doesn't do anything. It still, you know, reduces the res time and the heal time of your teammates a little bit, not by much, but a little bit. Yo, Dylan, thanks for hitting that sub button, man. Appreciate you, baby. Chat, if you guys are liking the video, hit the thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Yeah, great point. You can shoot the drone down. One shot, too. One shot. Drone can't be back from blue zone. I don't know what you're trying to say there, Max, but let me clear it up. You cannot use the drone if you're in the blue zone. Anytime you're in the blue zone, it'll kick you out of the tablet when you're trying to drive the drone around. The drone can sit in the blue zone for an infinite amount of time, but if you go too far away from it, it'll just automatically crash to the ground, so you have to recall it to yourself or just fly it away. Yo, Mike, there is no point to the level 2 backpack other than to take up loot space. That's really about it. What's up, Matthias? Hey, homie. Does the chip detector have a beep sound when scanning? It does actually have a beep sound. I don't think enemies can hear it scan, though. That's a good question. I'm pretty sure the blue chip detector isn't audible to other people. But now that you've asked that question, I'm saying it out loud. I actually don't remember 100%. My knee-jerk answer is no, nobody else can hear it but you. But I might be wrong on that. But again, you're 50 meters away. You're going to hear the enemy player regardless. They just need to give the EMT extra slots for meds. That's also not a bad suggestion. Yeah, that's not a bad suggestion. Having the EMT bag able to hold a couple of extra first aids or bandages or whatever without taking up your actual inventory space, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe when you pick an EMT gear up, like it just has like whatever 5 first aids, 10 bandages and like 4 boost automatically inside of it. Something like that could be cool. It's a good point for the EMT gear. I'm trying to think about the actual tactical gear in general, if there's any of it that really needs a big change. Honestly, the spotter scope is strong on squads. It's okay on duos. Okay. And it's kind of pointless for solos, but I think that's okay. That's kind of the point of it. Some people said give it a thermal mode. Oof. I think if they took thermal scopes out of the Kindi and added thermal to the spotter scope, that would be cool. Tactical backpack. If anything, that might need a nerf. And the only nerf that I would apply to that item is, and I mentioned this in my ultimate tactical gear guide video, which we did about a week ago, is that, there's 2 slots in the tac bag. I think there should be 2 slots, but if you put a weapon, it should take up both slots. So in other words, if you put like grenades and like ammo or med and grenades in one, you can have 2 slots. But as soon as you put a shotgun or a Panzerfaust or whatever, if any other weapon, it absorbs both slots of the tactical backpack. I think that would be a good balance to that item, because being able to have sniper rifle, assault rifle, a shotgun, and a Panzer, it's very, 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 very strong. And imagine you're playing against a squad and the entire enemy squad is ready to roll. Shotgun, AR, sniper rifle, and then insert other item here. You know, it's very strong. The repair kit, you should be able to repair tires 100%, or you should be able to make tires out of thin air 100%. Aside from that, I don't think that item needs anything. If anything, maybe reduce the amount of repairs it can do. 10 is a lot. 10 repairs. If you never touch a vehicle, like if you just use the repair kit for armor and helmets, you can literally keep the same level 3 gear the entire game with one person having it. It's strong. What's up, Hernan? Hey, buddy. Are you going to do some gameplay? Yes. Yeah, we're about to move the stream over to Twitch, and we're going to actually play some PUBG tonight, believe it or not. Tonight's game plan, I'm doing solos, and we're going to do solo spectating. So we're going to play solos. I'm going to try my hardest to win, but if I don't win, we're going to spectate whoever kills us, and we'll commentate on their gameplay and see if I can offer you guys some tips and tricks on how to get better. What's up, OC9? What up, baby? The EMT gear, it needs to heal you up to... EMT gear, it needs to heal you up to heal you 75%. What? What's up, Legend? I think balancing foreign weapons, the tab pack will be cumbersome in and of itself. It's not, especially on PC. Yeah, you can repair any vehicle. The repair pack should definitely just repair tires. Should just repair? Oh, then no one's gonna pick it up. No, it definitely needs to repair armor, and helmets for sure. Again, it should just not be able to repair as much. Had bad teammates or no teammates. Damn, GG, Olsey. Sorry to hear that, dude. Dude, that's how Bob and I's Friday went, dude. Like, we had like, I think 1 win, and we got like 4 or 5 second places. Like, it was just a tough day of PUBG for Bob and I on Friday, man. So I hear you, dude. Sometimes it happens. PUBG be like that. All right, chat. So on that note, let's bring the Father's Day party over to Twitch. That link is going to be in chat. So go ahead and click on that link in chat. Head over to the Twitch stream. I'm going to end this stream. Give me about 10 seconds. I'm going to boot back up on Twitch, and we're going to play some PUBG, and we'll do some solo spectating tonight. Should the M16 get buffed or nerfed? It just got buffed. What do you mean? M16's fine. M16 and Mutant are exactly where they need to be. Very, very strong alternatives to a DMR, but they still lose to a DMR every time. %75% heal to... well, you know, the EMT used to heal past 75% for the holder. It no longer does that. You used to be able to bandage up past 100 or past 75 with the EMT gear. You no longer can do that. It needs to have that back. All right. I'll see you guys on Twitch, all right?